WrestleMania 42 just passed, and night one was ass. I'm gonna keep it a buck, and you can come for me in the comments if you want to, but the first night was trash. So let's just talk about some WrestleMania. Welcome back to Collie Greens and Nerdy Things, your one-stop shop for all things nerdy. And I'm your host, King, with the greatest co-host in WrestleMania history, JC3. And if you like the kind of kind of stuff we do, if you like nerdy stuff, if you like wrestling and you like Marvel and DC, we are the place to go. Now, I'm going to tell you this on the head of time. We are not a episode Easter egg breakdown. We are just boys discussing the things we love. So if you're into that kind
That's
of
right.
stuff, tap in and have a conversation with your boy. Let's get the show started. So we're gonna start off with just an open conversation, y'all. WrestleMania night one was plagued with mad issues, y'all. It was ass. Okay. It was plagued by way too many ads. We had more ad time than we actually had wrestling time for the entire weekend, not just to mention night one, but for the entire weekend. And then we had short mini matches. This is WrestleMania. This is supposed to be the biggest show of the year and the culmination of all the storylines that have been put together throughout the year in WWE. This is the big show. And you're talking about 7 minute matches, 8 minute matches, 9 minute matches, and some, of course, in between. This was, I don't know what TKO Endeavor and what they're doing in the back, but this was not it, y'all. This was not it. Now, I have so much that I want to go over and so much to say, and I'm so pissed because it's like y'all expected for people to pay their little $35 for this ESPN just to watch these funky ass ads, and then for you to then go and cut off big entrances like these fools are jobbers, bro. You gave them the jobber entrances for a whole bunch of people, like Ray Phoenix, who had a dope ass entry. Bro, what the fuck, man? Jay, give me some of your first thoughts as I say some of this stuff, and we'll continue to go on the rant.
Oh man, I knew you were coming with some energy today, King. But boy, I didn't know it was like this. But I gotta agree with you, man. Night one it just wasn't hitting, bro. It didn't hit the way I wanted it to. We had some bright spots, you know what I mean. We had a couple decent matches, but like you said, man, some of these matches were way too short. We got YouTubers, here in the ring getting major spots that other, professional wrestlers could get, that they should have the opportunity to have these moments, but instead we get a frog splash by I Show Speed, which I mean, yeah, sure, whatever's fine. But I mean, as a wrestling fan, it's not really something that I was really looking forward to. Also, just again, man, like you said, with the entrances, we missed out on some key figures in this. Like we didn't get an entrance from Rusev in the WrestleMania show. I don't think we got an entrance for Dragon Lee either. But we got some entrances, but like not entrances from people who deserve to get them on the show instead of having these ridiculous ads that we were just talking about here. Like it just, yeah, man, it left me feeling underwhelmed, which is not good, man, because again, this is WrestleMania. This is the biggest show of the year. This is WWE Super Bowl, and for them to start off the way they did, it just left a sour taste in my mouth, man. And especially with decisions that they made that just made no sense. One thing that comes to mind that one people can think of as a bright spot, but at the same time doesn't make sense, is the return of Paige. I enjoyed seeing her back. Good to see her back in the company. Her teaming with Brie, that doesn't make sense at all. Especially if you know the history of that group from way back in the day. But at the same time, we kind of know that it's probably not going to last anyway. But I mean, even with that return being what it was, it still felt underwhelming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it was such a stupid setup. You guys, we knew that she got signed. We saw it all over the internet about a day before the actual WrestleMania. So we knew at some point probably she was going to come out. But to replace a Bella twin in the match that honestly, who cared anyway? You know what I mean? You set up all this to have these four tag teams, which was a lot going on in the ring, and then gave them a hot 9 minutes to execute this storyline. Bro, it was unbelievably, it felt disrespectful to all of us. Everyone who watches, everyone who does this week to week, everyone who loves this stuff, it felt absolutely disrespectful in that stupid fatal four way. And then
Disrespectful to us and to the talent. Sorry, I just want to say that too, because we got people that were overshadowed after that happened. But
I
please go ahead.
completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. It was this whole WrestleMania was disrespectful more to the talent and us, right? More to the talent because they worked their whole year and some of these people careers to get to this point to get jobbed out in a match. You know what I mean? To have a squash match. That was stupid, man. I'll say one thing, and I told one of our coworkers and one of our friends this. Everything that I predicted happened except for one. I got one wrong and I was okay with that. But everything else I predicted, it was so predictable. It was not the business. The first match, love the Usos come in and help I show speed after he was disrespected, but weird turn of events that the team just turned on I show speed out of nowhere just to set up him doing this frog splash. Cool, man. It was a cool little spectacle. But one, it was 7 minutes. So, like, why did we even, what's the point of this? You know what I mean? It didn't really mean anything. And the belts weren't really on the line, or nothing really was going to happen out of that. So who really cares? The most egregious was Stephanie Valkyr and Liv Morgan. Now, everyone on this channel knows me and him are huge fans of both of them. I love Liv Morgan, okay? But yo, Liv Morgan's song is trash, bro. That song is ass, okay? And then to come out for her interest and perform it was trash, bro. And don't get me wrong, I love Liv Morgan, but everyone on the internet's like, well, you gotta love the song too. Man, fuck that song. That song is not good, bro. Liv Morgan is way better than what that song is, and that song was trash. And then they squashed Stephanie out, dude. 7 minutes, dude, for to have interference from the Judgment Day once again, as they always do, and then to walk away like, oh, she did some big thing, bro. That was ass, bro. Stephanie got robbed for that.
Stephanie definitely got robbed for the belt. When the match started, it felt like it ended just as fast as it started, man. Just because, again, you got the Judgment Day interference, which we knew it was going to happen. I called it to one of our people too before they even came out. I was like, she's going to come out to her Trouble theme song. Just watch. And then, of course, we get that whole performance. And again, like you said, we got love for Liv Morgan, man. Love and appreciate her journey all the way up till now. But it's just the creative and the storytelling behind this that just wasn't there. For her to have as big a moment as she had, if you were to track this like we have, I think we're all in agreement that Stephanie the Bakir does deserve to get the W at her first WrestleMania. Hopefully, she has a victory sometime in the future or at next year's WrestleMania. But this was her moment. And I feel like she should have gotten it over Liv, especially with Liv already having so much already, so many accomplishments, so many accolades under her belt. I don't really think she needed this win per se more than Stephanie, but hey, they like the blondes, man. We do too, but they really like them.
Yeah, you can tell that it was an upstairs decision, right? This was seemingly a decision from the top brass in the executive office, not even from Triple H. They wanted to put Liv Morgan back in. Liv Morgan is a draw. She's a great wrestler. I love her and love what she does. But dog, I have to call balls and strikes. You know what I mean? And that shit was not good, bro. It was not good. You know what I mean? One good match, I would say, or at least something I found interesting, was Seth Rollins and Gunther. I thought that was a decent match. I had fun watching that one. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu was pretty decent, even though they kind of made it sound like it was going to be more of a street match and they didn't really do much with it. But I mean, hell, both of those matches that I just mentioned had 15 and 14 minutes. So there wasn't really much they could have done with that time besides fight in the ring. But it was lackluster, even though those were the two better of the matches.
I would definitely agree with you with that. I did enjoy Fatu and McIntyre a lot. I thought there was I thought they honestly had the best performance of the night just because there was a bit more story in their match. One moment for me that I actually enjoyed was when Fatu broke out the toolbox on McIntyre, and it's like he was transported all the way back to the Hell in a Cell that he had with Punk. And I also love how Fatu was able to use the toolbox on him before he used his finisher, which is that moonsault to get the 1, 2, 3 on him. But I thought that was a really good moment for Fatu. And also just to see his entrance as well as the Samoan werewolf, that like in his whole fire routine. I thought that was pretty cool. And just seeing him like look up at the crowd, look up at the lights, and look up and just, see where he was and really just be present in the moment. I really did enjoy that. Also, McIntyre, feel for you, man. If you end up going to AEW, I won't blame you. And in regards to the Seth Rollins and Gunther match, again, that was the next best match of night one for me. Match started off hot right out the gate. They were fighting before the match even started. That announce table would not give way no matter what they did, no matter how many power bombs they laid down, no matter how many curb stomps. That announce table was not going to break. But I guess the one thing that could break Seth Rollins at that time would be Braun Breaker when he speared him. And then we get Gunther, getting the submission on Seth, which I thought made sense. Good to see Breaker back, but I'm curious to see what happens with the Vision from here on out.
Yo, no, Braun Breaker's back. We never knew that was gonna happen. Oh, and
There we go.
to be in top shape, he was winded after running the 100 yards from the entrance all the way down to the ring. There's a freeze frame, and the boy is out of breath, bro.
It's a long
Quit
rant.
playing. Quit playing with my minds, bro. Quit playing with my stuff, dog. It's stupid. So let me go on to move on to the next piece of garbaggio, in my opinion. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, dog. 8 minutes to tell this story that you've been working on for a long time. For a long time. And you gave these women 8 minutes, bro. 8 minutes. And a couple of them, just like in the Liv Morgan, they were like, well, she was injured. She was injured. That's why we didn't give them that much time. But then on Monday Night Raw, they have a 15-minute match. Doesn't seem that fucking injured to me. I don't get it. And I know that this was a deep story. We've been telling this AJ Lee, Becky Lynch story for a long time. But bro, how many times are we gonna give Becky this goddamn belt? Like, I'm over Becky having this belt. It's useless. Give it to somebody who's going to do something with it. It's useless. I'll let you have a piece before I roll on.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a Becky Lynch fan, also an AJ Lee fan. The match didn't, I mean, it could have been better, could have been longer for sure. I did enjoy some bright spots for it. I enjoyed the live performance from Wonder Years for Becky Lynch. And I liked AJ Lee's special entrance as well. I figured Becky was gonna, get the belt back. And honestly, like it for me, it just depends because right now I'm trying to think of who we could give like the Intercontinental Championship to that could actually make it more relevant than Becky Lynch. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now.
Give it to the
I mean, she
referee.
won. I mean, I did enjoy the finish, typical heel style, using the turnbuckle to, get one over on AJ Lee and get her back bottom for the win. I'm sorry, King. I am a Becky Lynch fan. I don't mind that she's champion as much as you, but the match could have been more for sure. But I will let you continue, my man. I know you got more in the tank.
So much more, my friend. But I'm going to move on to the final match of the night, which was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. This is the only one that I actually got wrong, but I'm a Cody Rhodes fan. I'm a guy. I'm a Cody Rhodes guy. I'm a what did he say? I'm a Cody Rhodes crybaby. I'm one of those. So I'm happy that Cody retains, but it would have been interesting to see what would happen if Orton won, right? If we don't stop with this celebrity people like Pat McAfee. It's so stupid. It took up time away from the two people who needed to do the wrestling job just for some easy storytelling by adding Pat McAfee in there. Dude, I love him as an announcer. He's great in the organization itself. But bro, get the hell out of the damn matches. And to bring Jelly Roll in, they rinse and repeat those two people so damn much. It's stupid.
This was the worst match of the whole entire PLE for me, just because of how badly they screwed it up. This match did not need this whole story did not need Pat McAfee in it. The history is already there between Cody and Randy, and you could have just based the story off that. Randy could have still turned heel without needing McAfee, and you could have still had a great, story with that. This match left me with more questions than answers. And it was just because of how convoluted everything was in this match. Pat McAfee, was able to come back down to the ring, as a ref. I felt like that was stupid. Why did Randy Orton RKO Pat after he wanted him to be in his corner literally less than
Right.
24 hours? Why is Cody Rhodes acting like a heel, when he's supposed to be the babyface? Yeah, we're playing to the crowd. Yeah, but Orton's still a better heel than you. Nobody's buying it. I enjoyed Randy punting Cody in the head. We haven't seen a pun in a long time, but why didn't he do that during the match to win the title? You
Thank you.
know,
That's what I'm
uh,
saying. It was cool, but why do it after the fact? Because, like you said, it's more questions than answers now.
exactly. Dude, this is the second main event, WrestleMania main event that Cody Rhodes has been a part of. And no, not the second one, but this is 2 years in a row. Sorry, but this is 2 years in a row that his WrestleMania main event matches have sucked. Like last year, we had the heel turn with Cena. That was the worst match of the entire year. And now we have him fighting another legend in Randy Orton. It's not good, man. It's not good, and it's not good for somebody that's claiming to be the quarterback of the company, the QB. This is exactly why there are so many people that do not care about Cody Rhodes' story anymore, and they want Roman to be back in business because they just feel like he hasn't carried it like he should. And after this performance, man, I'm inclined to agree with some of those people now.
Night one, all in all, for me, trash. Trash panda. Not enjoying it. What saved it though was night two. Now, night two felt better. It felt like a much better, it felt more prestigious. It felt like this was a bit more WrestleMania. Still plagued by the same issues. The WWE has so much damn ads in the stories that it's stupid. I can't even put it into words at the moment. Dude, we're paying to watch wrestling. There was more ads than there was wrestling. And you're playing with people's pockets and you're playing with people's money. And that is stupid. However, opening up the match, opening up the show, we had Obafemi. Finally, a brother got to take down Brock Lesnar. Thank God. Thank God. And but the sad part about it is it was 4 minutes of wrestling, y'all. 4 minutes, dude. That is trash. I'm so happy what happened. I don't really care that Brock Lesnar retired. There wasn't really anything for him to do. Weave him into the current makeup of the WWE and the storylines that we're telling. So I'm fine with him retiring. Good on you. Bon voyage, bro. 4 minutes? I mean, not a huge fan of that, bro. Not a huge fan of that. But I am a fan of Oba winning.
Absolutely. This was the second best match of the night for me for so many reasons. The reaction of the crowd reaction when Oba came out was deafening. But he is so over right now, as they say, over like Rover. That is Oba Femi. He is going straight to the top. For a matchup like this, I don't think it's really necessary for it to really be long. And plus, we're also dealing with Brock Lesnar. He gives German suplexes and F5s. That's it. The moment itself was amazing. seeing Oba Femi, I'm not gonna lie, because we had not seen the build up to this. We have not seen any offense by Brock. We have not seen Brock put Oba down once. And when he got that F5 on Oba, not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was like, I didn't know if that was gonna be it, and we were gonna be pissed off. But then my boy got up right away and he gave a choke slam from the heavens to my man. That was for Undertaker. And then he gave that fall from grace power bomb. And let me tell you something, that was for Kofi and Big E, whose titles you stole. And we got that 1, 2, 3. And us as a people got our justice. And Oba Femi is that dude. Honestly, I again, like King, I don't care about Brock possibly retiring at WrestleMania. I think it'll still happen at SummerSlam in his hometown, but you're not going to steal the moment from Oba, my guy. Thank you for helping get him over. You finally did something right. Thank you, Brock. Congratulations, Oba Femi.
Yeah, man. The next match, I had already telegraphed this. We knew who was going to win, but this is the moment when they decided to play more ads than entrances for the 6-man ladder match, which was dumb because, there was a bunch of dope entrances, dope outfits. Dragon Lee had this whole thing, this whole dragon's wings. It was sick, and nobody got to see it unless you were on the internet. But that match was 15 minutes. It has some really interesting spots in it. I think for me, the weak link is Rusev. He was the one that was kind of like, man, I mean, you're in this match, but everybody else is kind of, in my opinion, out wrestling him. So it was more interesting, but it all kind of felt fast. Everything felt too rushed for me.
First off, I got to give a shout out to Penta and the Shao Kahn mask. We did see that. That looked pretty cool.
Fire.
I will also have to say I do have to slightly disagree with you on Rusev. You know what? No, he was getting out wrestled, but I believe that he was taking the most bumps, but it made them look good. Like that power bomb through the ladder that Dragon Lee gave him, bruh. That man took some damage, and then the OG cutter that he got from Javon Evans, that looks sick as well. So I got to give my boy Rusev props on that. But ultimately, I thought the match was pretty decent, pretty worked pretty well, and ultimately Penta retaining does make sense. I feel like this was probably the like after the Oba, Femi, and Lesnar match. This was the next best match for me. Not number one, but number three. But I am overall satisfied with the choice that they made to have Penta retain. And shout out to the man with the big head for also taking bumps in the match as well.
I guess I'm just not really a big Rusev fan, just to keep it a buck, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not a big fan of his at all. Like, I get it, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. But if he was not there, I would not be sad. So that's just, that's a personal thing for me. What was more impressive was JD's Spanish fly onto the ladder, man. I mean, come on, chef's kiss, bro. I love a good Spanish fly, and I love when it hits well. Let's move on real quick and get to Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. And again, I said what was going to happen and what did happen. I knew that it was going to happen. But here's one thing, I saw this meme and I thought it was great. This big tail that, that Trick Williams decided to have on, somebody replaced like the actual tail with the giant CVS receipt. And that's kind of what it felt like as he was walking out. Don't get me wrong, it was cool. That tail or train, as they call it in weddings, it was cool, but it looked like a giant CVS receipt. But that boy, as you were talking about with Oba, that boy is one of the most over people that I have seen in a long time. I mean, the crowd is lit when he comes out, and for good reason. I love Trick Williams. I'm glad that he is now the US champion.
Yes, me too. Let's talk about it. Congratulations to Trick Williams. He definitely deserves it. I'm very glad that he got this spot just because honestly, man, like, and the crowd will tell you, nobody wanted Sammy to take the title from Mello. And we know that he got this spot just because of his status currently in the company. Respect to Sami Zayn. I actually like Sami Zayn a lot, but you can just tell by the reaction of the crowd that they just were not having it. But that's the beauty of wrestling too. You got Sammy, who's supposed to be a baby face, but the crowd's booing him. Trick's supposed to be the heel, but the crowd loves him. So don't be surprised if we get a switcheroo sometime pretty soon, because Trick is indeed that guy, and he's going straight to the top.
Finn Balor and as the Demon and Dominic Mysterio. The entrances were crazy and I loved it. I love that part. Here's a little secret. I absolutely fell asleep at the beginning of that, so I had to go back and rewatch it because I fell asleep throughout their entire 13-minute match. But it was a good one. It was a good one. And I kind of love the idea of Dominic complaining that he had to fight the demon versus fighting Finn Balor. And they try to make like a distinction between this two, even though it's the same human being. But overall, I thought it was more of a fun one. I would guess that it happened. I guess that it happened the way that it was, but it definitely wasn't a match I was mad at.
No, no, not at all. We all knew the outcome of this match, but we came here to see, the Demon Finn Balor. That was the main draw of this match. Also, a little surprise to me was finding out that they turned it into a street fight as well. So they added a little extra onto it, which I enjoyed. But yeah, we hadn't seen the Demon Finn Balor, in 3 years in WWE. So great to see him come back with the look. I do feel like all those streamers that came down, they were getting in my man's way. He's like, looked like he was fighting the sea for a minute, trying to go down the ramp. But it's nice seeing this version of him, and I do hope that in the future WWE uses it sparingly, not how they did in the past, because I kind of feel like they lessen the meaning of the demon. But I hope that they let it build up now to where maybe eventually Finn Balor can be in World Heavyweight Championship contention again and may possibly win the title.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying the demon. I've enjoyed every time that I've kind of seen that character. I hate the stupid dreadlock wig thing they put on him. I absolutely hate that part. If he would just not wear that, I'd be all in. But I'd love to see him show up. And you're right. They should use it sparingly. Don't use it, don't overuse it. Make it special so that when it comes out, it means something, you know? Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill. Again, another match I called. I have no complaints about this match, really, other than, of course, it was 10 minutes long. And Jade Cargill's new team of friends that she's bullied for the last 6 months, weird, got involved. But it was a good way to bring Io Sky and get her out there because we didn't get to see Io in this WrestleMania. So I'm actually pretty pleased with what happened with this match. I knew Mommy was going to get it, and to be honest, I think she deserved it.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. She deserved it. We discussed this as well. The match between Rhea and Jade for the championship became important because it was Rhea fighting for the title. Before then, nobody really cared as much what's been going on, or at least we haven't cared as much on what's been going on with the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. But ultimately, this match was better than what I thought it would be. We had some interesting spots, including Jade Cargill stealing the one winged angel from Kenny Omega, and I hope she heard back from him like, "Hey, watch out," like the and at the end, and still Rhea kicked out of that, so nobody kicks out of the one winged angel. But we're not talking about AEW. Other than that, I thought another great spot was the ending of the match with Rhea reversing the Jaded finisher into her riptide, going in between Jade's legs to get her for the pinfall. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, shout out to Jade for trying to get a little freaky with Rhea with one of her pinfalls. I noticed those multiple thrusts. I don't know why you thought you had to do that, but hey, why not? Hey, this is wrestling. So, but again, match was better than what I thought it would, but I thought the right woman won in the end.
Now, the big match that I would say was probably the most entertaining for me, and again, another one that I got right. I need to really start getting on one of these betting apps because I was really betting 1,000 in this one. Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I know that CM Punk is one of your favorites, and has now become one of my favorites. What a knockout drag 'em out they really had. I thought it was a really good match. Personally, it was probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite match throughout the weekend. And obviously, given the big names that they are, it was the longest match at 34 minutes. Man, Them boys was beating the hell out of each other, doing each other's moves. It bloodied each other. I thought it was fun, and I thought that this was what WrestleMania should feel like the entire time.
I think that this is one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time that we've ever had. Just because you have two veterans that are so good at what they do, so good at telling stories, and so good at delivering in matches that this one had no choice but to deliver, and it absolutely did. I wanted Punk to win a little bit more than Roman, but I'm fans of both of them, and I'm happy with the result of Roman winning. But just the overall moment, the entrances, the match itself was awesome. You know, you had Roman Reigns coming out to his tribal chief music, just showing the whole bloodline. Then you had Punk coming out to his old Ring of Honor theme, and also had a jacket on paying tribute to late colleagues that aren't with us anymore. And just, really being present in the moment of the fact that he has finally main evented the last night of WrestleMania. You could just see the joy on his face as he was going down the ramp. Match itself, crazy, awesome. Like you said, they were doing each other's finishers. I was particularly entertained when Punk ran outside the ring and grabbed an Ulafala from a fan before he tried to spear Roman Reigns. I thought that was just classic Punk. I thought that was awesome. Uh, Ultimately, we had a we had an ending based off the story that these two have been telling, which is, while Reigns is still, pretty young in this game and can still move pretty fast and do what he does. Punk is on the older side of things, and that proved to be effective in this match because he straight up lost due to exhaustion. And I love the face off that him and Roman had in the final moments, with him just trying to get one more hit on Roman, but he couldn't do it. And then Roman gets that final spear on him for the 1, 2, 3. Makes me wonder where Punk will go from here. But I'm also intrigued to see what kind of stories we can tell with Roman Reigns being world heavyweight champion now. But overall, man, the match was damn near perfect to me. And again, one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. Congratulations to Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
Well, y'all, that's the whole kit and caboodle. I want to say that I am a fan of the WWE. I'm a fan of what they're doing. I would encourage the WWE to pay attention to their fandom when it comes to things like this, when it comes to rushing things and making things less significantly important than it should be. Other than that, I give the entire weekend 6 at best. It was mid as hell, but night 2 really picked it up for me. But night 1 really dragged the whole thing down. Would I go back and watch it again? Of course. Am I still watching? I already watched Monday Night Raw and it was pretty good. I still love what they're doing. I just wish they would take more care in their own storytelling and what they have built up. But this week, we're doing Daredevil season 2, episode 6, this Thursday. So tap on in and watch with us. And I'm going to let Jay do his final thoughts and then take us on out as we always do.
Appreciate that, King. Appreciate that. This PLE was a bit of a mixed bag for me. As you said, night 1 was not hitting. For me, it was mediocre at best. Had some bright spots there, but just not enough to save it. Night 2 definitely saved this PLE for me from top to bottom. From Obafemi winning to us getting a new world heavyweight champion in Roman Reigns. It really worked out because we crowned some new champions, and we also acknowledged some veterans in this game that definitely deserve the main event spot. I would give this PLE. I give it a solid 7. I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10, just because again, night 2 definitely saved it for me. And one more thing I want to say: quick shout out to Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. Congratulations on the baby. Can't wait to see you back. Naomi, that means you got to hurry your ass up and get back too. But thank you guys for watching this whole time. Thank you for always supporting us. Thank you for commenting. Please continue to comment. Please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, you know how it goes. Stay nerdy, my friends.